Welcome back, student, to my classes. So we were carrying the nutrients in the plant. How do plant get their nutrition? And what are the different type of method or mode of nutrition through which plant can take their nutritions? Like we have studied about insectivorous plant. All right. We have also studied about parasitic plant. We have also studied about the symbiotic plant. Symbiotic combinations of different animals like plant and fungi is there. So student, today we are going to study something new, something other than that. And let's see this image first of all. So what you can see in this image, students, I will give you some time to make out the things which is present in this image. Yes, so what are the things you can see here? So basically it is a green scenery present over here. So in that image there was actually the field, green grass field, and there the rice was present in that field. Okay, and actually we want to know here that we want to start our class in such a way that what happens after one crop grows. Do the nutrients that is present in the soil is there, or is it lost after a crop is grown over a soil or is land? So what do you think? The nutrient will remain in the soil or will be over, or it needs some time to get all those nutrients back? So yes, student, what do you think? Yes, what do you think that the nutrition like nitrate, phosphorus, chlorine, sodium, potassium that is present in the soil, and once the crop is grown over that land, then that ions should be utilized by the plant. Okay, so if we want to grow the crop for the next time, so what we have to do so that the soil can get their lost nutrients back into its part? Okay, so basically first of all, we will discuss about how naturally the soil take back their nutrients. Okay. So first of all, we will study about natural method through which the soil replenishes its nutrient. Okay. And secondly, we will discuss about how the man-made activity made to replenish the nutrients that is in the soil. Okay. So see student, in this image, in the next image, whatever we are seeing, like we have also studied in the previous classes that the nitrogen that is mainly present in the, we know that, atmosphere. There are many molecules of nitrogen present, and we also know that this nitrogen cannot be utilized by the plant directly. Okay, so what would this plant do, or is there any organism that is present in the soil which makes this atmospheric air should go into the soil? So yes, you are true student, and you are thinking the right manner also. Like we have discussed in the previous class that there is some type of microbes that is present in the soil, and they are known as nitrogen fixing microbes. What are they known as? Nitrogen fixing microbes. Okay, so what are these nitrogen fixing microbes? They are rhizobium. They are basically rhizobium. So what do this rhizobium do, student? We will think very easily and in a very casual manner that this rhizobium would take the atmospheric nitrogen. Okay, and what it will do? It will fix this atmospheric nitrogen into the soil. Okay, and in this way the plant along with the water can take their nitrogen in the forms of nitrate. Okay, and we know that in this way the soil nutrition can be replenished. Soil will again contain the nitrogen in the soil. Okay, and when we grow some type of pulses, it would be necessary that this atmospheric nitrogen is fixed in the soil. And one more usage is that if we grow the pulse plant around some other plant, then it will also benefit the different plant which do not have such nodule. Okay, so that nitrogen that is fixed by the pulse plant will also be benefited by other plant like wheat plant or any plant whichever you have cropped in your field. So let's read about this rhizobium, student. The action of a certain bacteria can convert this nitrogen into a form readily used by plants. So rhizobium bacteria lives in the root nodules of the leguminous plant. So student, we have seen here that this root contains beads like structure. We have seen the bead like structure, like we call in mala, there is some beads. Okay, so here also in the roots of the leguminous plant there are some kind of beads present. So what do these beads do? They are known as root nodules. Okay, and this root nodule is the house of rhizobium. So rhizobium bacteria lives in the root nodule of leguminous plant. So these bacteria take the nitrogen gas from the atmosphere and convert it into the water soluble nitrogen compound, making it available to the leguminous plant for their growth. So it is very easy, student. We know all the processes we have studied right now. How do rhizobium fix the nitrogen from atmosphere to the soil? Okay, so moving to the next part, students, like we have studied right now also and in the previous class, that the rhizobium lives in the root of leguminous plant. All right, so there must be some mutual interaction, that plant is giving something to the rhizobium and rhizobium should also give something to the plant. All right, so this type of relationship in which there is mutual take and give away, such relationship is known as symbiotic relationship. Okay, as we have also studied in the case of lichens. So now here also we will study that the rhizobium, actually what do rhizobium do? They convert the atmospheric nitrogen into soluble form, and in return what will the plant give to the rhizobium? It will give the food or nutrition whatever the plant will make. Okay, so I hope it would be clear to you. The leguminous plant provide food and shelter to the bacteria. Yes, we have discussed now the plant gives shelter and food also to the bacteria, and rhizobium cannot prepare its food, thus they have symbiotic relationship. This association is very important for the farmers, as they do not need to add nitrogen fertilizers to the soil in which leguminous plants are grown. So student, we have studied that if the soil requires the nitrogen, okay, so we have to simply crop the leguminous plant in those field. All right, and what will happen? As we know that leguminous plant have root nodules in them, and the root nodules have the house for rhizobium bacteria, and this rhizobium can fix the atmospheric nitrogen into the soil, and in this way the nutrients present in the soil will be replenished. The nitrates, the nitrites will be again back to the soil, and they can be utilized by the plants. Okay, so I think this symbiotic relationship is clear to you, student. Yes. Okay, so we will move forward. Now you have to tell me which bacteria fixes the nitrogen into the soil. So we have studied right now in the symbiotic relationship of leguminous plant that the rhizobium bacteria helps to fix the nitrogen into the soil. So answer would be rhizobium. Okay, so it is clear. Now moving forward, students. Now, now we will go to the man-made methods through which we can replenish the nutrients that is lost in one crop. Okay, let's see, we have cropped in one season the rice. All right, and now the nutrients that should be present in the soil is lost completely, and in the next season we have to crop the wheat also. So we have to add something to the soil so that the nutrients that should be replenished by the soil. So in this image also we can see that a farmer is putting something to the field. So do you know what the farmer is putting in this field? Yes, student. Some white color substance is there, one bag is there. Okay, so basically yes, they are manures or fertilizers. Okay, so they are putting manures or fertilizers. So why do they put the manures or fertilizers to the this field, in the field? Of course the fertilizers should contain some kind of what, essential nutrients that should replenish or bring back the portion that we know nutrients to the soil. So how to bring back the nutrients to the soil that is essential for the plant to grow? So for that we human have made some kind of fertilizers, some kind of manure, so that the nutrients of soil can be regained back. Okay, so let's see what type of fertilizers we are putting into the soil. Yes, I hope if you are reside in a village area, then you might have seen this sack which consists of fertilizers. So student, now you have to read what is present written over here, DAP, and what is the full form and what does it contains. Yes, will tell me. Yes, student. So the full form of DAP is diammonium phosphate fertilizers. Okay, now it is very clear that there is one ammonium compound, NH4 plus, and there is one phosphate also. Okay, so there are two types of compound present here. Ions are there. Sorry students. First one is nitrogen or ammonia and phosphate. Okay, so these two compound when put into the soil or in your field, it will regain back all the nutrients that should be present in your field. Okay, so let's read student. The plant absorb the minerals and nutrients from the soil. Okay, so their amounts in the soil keep on declining. The fertilizers, manures containing the nutrients such as nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, etc. These nutrients need to be added from time to time to enrich the soil. Okay, so we can grow plant and keep them healthy if we can fulfill the nutrient requirement of the plants. So it is very essential, student, that this type of fertilizers should be given into the field. So first of all we will remember few compounds, a few elements that is necessary, and we have to learn also. The first is nitrogen is there, then potassium is there, and then phosphorus is there. So nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, NPK. What is the short form? Or I have written the chemical symbol of this element. The nitrogen for N and potassium K, that is kalium, and phosphorus for P stand for phosphorus. So NPK, this is a ratio, this is a combination that is used in the fertilizers. Okay, and it should be given time to time into the field, because we know that the nutrition that is present in the soil that will be over after some time. Okay, so farmer want to make more harvesting, more cereals, more amount of whatever they have cropped in their field. Okay, so they will add this chemical fertilizer to their field. So student, uh, what can be the advantages of adding these fertilizers? Because this is a chemical fertilizer. Okay, so first of all we know that it is a chemical fertilizer. So if we are putting this into our field or the crops where we have done this, so what can be the advantages of these chemical fertilizers? So the first and the most important thing is that the yield of the crop will increase. Okay, suppose that before adding any manure, like this is our field of 1 acre, okay, and this is without fertilizer. Okay, this is without fertilizers, and we have cropped one type of plant over here. So the harvesting would be only 100 kg, let's say. But after adding this fertilizer, what will happen? The total yield from a crop or from the field will increase up to 10 to 20 times. So it can be 1000 kg from 1 acre of field. Okay, so we can see how much important this is for our growing population. We know that there is increase in our population day by day. Increase in population. So what is happening, student? You know that when the population is increasing, there is shortage of land also. The agricultural land or the cultivable land is decreasing day by day. So what will happen? We have to increase the yield from one particular part of a land. Okay, so we have to use this chemical fertilizers. So these are few advantages that you have to remember. Okay, now if we know that there is advantage of one part of science, then there will be disadvantage also. So let's see what is the disadvantage of chemical fertilizers. So students, suppose we have put some chemical fertilizers over this field. Okay, let's see, this is the fertilizers we have put over here. Green one is fertilizers. Now what will happen, student? Let's see, we are putting some water in this field or there is rain over this field. Okay, now what will happen? These fertilizers along with water will seep down into the soil. Okay, it will seep down into the soil and it will reach to the water bodies at last. Let's see, this is the water body. And in the water bodies, we know that there are different types of plants and animal present there. Okay, and animals like fishes are there. So what will happen? These nitrates, phosphate and calcium, NPK, nitrate, that is nitrogen, phosphate and potassium will enter into the body of fish. Okay, and they are surely, for sure, they are very, very harmful for living creature. These things, these three elements are very harmful for living creature if taken in excess. If these things are taken in excess, then it can lead to the death of the organism. And we also know, student, that these nitrates are going inside the fish, and hence ultimately we are also eating the fish, and this nitrate, phosphate is also entering into our body. Okay, so this will harm to our body and it will reduce our lifespan also, and it may also lead to certain type of disease which are very harmful. Okay, so moving forward, student, fertilizers and manures contain dash. So we have studied N, P, K. That means nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. I hope it would be clear to you, students. Now moving forward. Now see, have you seen in village that gobar are left in the field of crop? There's a gobars are left over here. Have you seen this? I hope if you live in village, you might be aware of this. Okay. So let's see. Organic fertilizer is usually made from plant or animal waste or by mixing both plant and animal. They can also be highly processed product with the compost or manure waste. So once they are degraded, they are in this very simple form, they are put into the field. All right, and it also contains different type of nutrients because it is of organic content. So it will give lots and lots amount of nutrition to the soil. So let's study about the advantages first. So because of organic matter present in the organic fertilizers. So organic matter like carbon, hydrogen is present in the organic matter. Soil structure is improved as a result of soil ability to hold more water and nutrients. So organic material can hold more amount of water. So gobar is also organic, so it can hold more amount of water. Next is that organic fertilizer contain carbon as a part of chemical makeup. It is the carbon along with nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium that feeds microbes and enables them to make nutrients available for plants in a naturally occurring biological process. Okay, so organic fertilizer do not run off as easily and are with soil structure. So organic fertilizers, like we have studied in the chemical one, it seeps down into the soil, but organic fertilizers will never go inside the soil, and it is also very useful and very natural for the soil. Okay, there is no disturbance in the ecosystem of the field. So we can also go for organic matter or organic fertilizer. It is very helpful. So but if there is advantage, then there will be a disadvantage also. Let's see what are the disadvantage. So basically not all products are created equal. Means this organic fertilizers that is made from gobar and plant product, this cannot be used for all type of plants. Only for a specific type of plant this organic fertilizers can be used. Okay, and next is nutrients level are very low in the soil when we put organic fertilizers as compared to the chemical one. They have low nutrients. Okay, and hence we can say that the yield whatever we are expecting will be low as compared to the chemical fertilizers. Okay, I hope you have understood this. Now tell me, what is the disadvantage of organic manure? So we have studied right now only that it cannot be used for all type of use, cannot be used for all type of plants. Okay, and next thing is that yes, who will tell me? The nutrient level in this are very less. Nutrient level are less. So student, now we will recapitulate everything whatever we have studied. So we have learned about the natural replenishment of nutrient, chemical fertilizers, organic fertilizers. So tell me, does bacteria help to convert the atmospheric nitrogen into the soluble form? Which bacteria is there? So it is rhizobium. Chemical fertilizers are good for water bodies. Is it true? Is it true? Chemical fertilizers are good for water bodies. Is it true or not? It is false. It is not good for water bodies because it can harm the ecosystem present in the water bodies. So organic fertilizer is less helpful because it has low nutrient in them. Okay, so we have studied this. Now few homeworks for you student. What is the replenishment of nutrient in the soil? Okay, and you have to do one activity. You have to take the correct answer Cascuta is the example of autotroph, parasitic, saprotroph and host. Next is the plant which trap and feed on insect is Cascuta, China rose, pitcher plant and rose. Next is sow with the help of sketch that plants utilize the different source of food. Okay, so I hope it would be very helpful to you student. Thank you. We will meet again in the next class very soon. So keep in touch with this video. You can also like and subscribe this video. Thank you.